Hello, my Flosstube friends. It's Megan. I'm back finally after a couple months, and I don't know what number Flosstube this is, but I'll put it down below. And yeah, things have been very busy, so yeah, that's why I've been away for so long. But I just really was in the mood to film. I've missed this community so much. I haven't even been watching Flosstube much lately. And if you followed me, you know I had a baby in October, Lucas, or well, they pronounce it Lucas in Norway, or Lucas. So needless to say, it's been hectic, and he's sleeping right now, and hopefully you can't hear the baby monitor next to me. I have this vacuum sound playing because it's amazing, magical. A hack if you have a newborn who can't sleep, put on either vacuum, like actually vacuum, or there's YouTube videos where you can just play vacuum sounds or white noise, and for him it's just usually, not always, like magical. He'll be crying or like not able to fall asleep and you put that on pretty loud and he's just out. So he sleeps a lot in the morning, and well, now it's kind of the afternoon, but he's a great sleeper overall, which is awesome. I'll talk a little bit about that, like a life update at the end. I'm a little out of practice, and I don't know if you hear it in my voice, but I have a little cold, so. Yeah, so I don't have tons of progress to show you today, so I'll show you what I've done, but I also thought it might be fun to take out my very old stuff that I did back from when I was 12 years old to, I don't know, like 15, when I first got into stitching, and I stitched a lot in that time and then dropped it, high school, and then didn't really pick it up again until 2020. So old stuff, and it's actually from stamped kits because I didn't do counted cross stitch at the time. But I have a whole bag that I haven't gone through in a long time, so I just thought it'd be fun to show some of that. But let's first, so what I've been working on when I can, which hasn't been often, but I've been working on ornaments for Christmas because I like to do ornaments every year, and a gift for my sister who will be here for Christmas. And what else? I just did a little bit on my son's birth sampler, and then one day I did like a full coverage, just a little bit. So I'll show you that. So ornament first. It's not completely fully finished on the back yet, so you can see a little around it, but I will do that. But this is his ornament. First Christmas. So cute. And it's tiny, and it should have taken maybe a couple days. It took me like a few weeks, maybe a month. So yeah, things are going slow, but I'm glad I got to finish. And this was a kit from Permanent. It came with the hoop and this little hangy thing, which is nice. So yeah. Oh, I also did and finished something for my mom, who was here for a month in November. And I posted it on Instagram, and it's, those little people, you can like customize the people based on your family. So I did my mom holding the baby, and then me, and then my daughter, and they look just like them, so it's cute. I don't know, it depending on the time I have, I may put a picture in here, but if not, go check out my Instagram. Let's see. So I have a not yet finished ornament, but only because this kit, tiny little kit, did not come with nearly as much thread as you needed. So I have to go through my stash and find something that matches. But it's also a Perman kit. They're Scandinavian, I think Danish company. And this is what this cute little thing will look like. And this one's going to be for my dad and stepmom. They're also coming for Christmas. So yeah, that'll be for them. It's actually, I think it's a card, so I don't know, maybe I'll finish it in the card because it just comes with it. I don't know. We'll see. So anyway, I had as much as I can done. Oh, there's all these threads stuck to the back. Hold on a sec. Yeah. Okay. So there's what it looks like. It's really cute. I did what back stitching I could around the things that are already stitched. But as you can see, I mean, his beard isn't stitched, so that's fine. But like all this blue, and then there's some like red in here that I have to do. I think he's holding presents, so, and then back stitching. But so it's almost finished. The other ornament that I need to start and finish is my daughter's, and it's pretty tiny, I think. It's a little cupcake because she loves food and treats. She picked it out. So I will get that started soon, and that's all the ornaments I'm going to do this year. I usually do one like for my husband, but yeah, that's not happening this year. All right, now the other one that's a gift is for my sister. It's not an ornament, but I've shown this before, and I have the needle. I was just doing a little bit now. Yeah, let me just finish. Let me just put it behind so that you can actually see it without the thread and needle sticking through it. Yeah. So this one I could have finished it before, but I was missing a couple threads. So when my mom came to visit, I had her bring a bunch of threads that I was missing for my project. So now I have those so I can fill it out, but it is Peking Jesus. Yeah, so almost done. I saw that. If you can't read it, it says. So it's just funny, and it reminds me of her humor. And I also got a frame, so he'll be like, this will be the edge of the frame, so he'll be peeking out like, I saw that. So that'll be her gift. And this is from Subversive cross stitch, and it's on 14 count. Ada. And yeah, then I worked just a little bit, like hardly anything, on his birth sampler. From Historical Sampler Company. And it was a kit. That's what it looked like, but it's a bad picture with the shadows. So I'm not sure exactly where it was the last time I showed you. It also has a thread hanging out of it because I just have to stop in the middle of threads these days. But yeah, here it is in total. It's on a 32 count linen. 2/2. So I am working down here. I finished, I don't know if you saw the finish here, but I finished Lighthouse. And now I'm working on M, Mermaid. There. The faces in these things are kind of funny. But yeah. So it's coming along. Not too bad. Halfway through the alphabet. And then I just, in the middle will be, you know, the place for his name and birthday and weight and all that stuff. So there's that. So far, most of the thing, really, all except one day has been stitching on things for other people. So yeah, I feel like I'm also like not always looking in the camera because I haven't done this in a while. Okay, so yeah, the last thing I worked on was just one day, maybe a couple days, but just one other project, and it's Children on the Beach. Artwork by Mary Cassatt and charted by Cross Stitch Collectibles. very wrinkled. It has, I think, hoop mark still. But here it is. I'm loving how this one's coming out. It's on 18 count Aida 2/2. I'm like forgetting my things here. Sorry about the threads. Again. So what I'm doing now is working this diagonal, and I started, that's the shovel, the beginning of her shovel. So getting something besides sand now. So yeah, if you see, it's like that. And then I think pretty soon in the next diagonal or two, the next time I think I'll be coming up to her hair a little more. And then I think the next diagonal after that, I'll be like really into her again. So yay. Don't have the stitch count or anything like that. And if you've been watching, you know that the first part of the year I was working on like the Advent animals from Brooke's books, and my goal was to finish it by the end of the year. Actually, my goal originally was to finish it like end of the summer so I could fully finish it, but yeah, I just finished at 19, and then, you know, the birth and everything, so that did not happen. But if you want to see a fully finished, go check out On Point Stitcher. I'll link her below because she finished the whole thing, fully finished before Christmas. She did awesome. We were working on it together, and we were at the same point until, yeah, till at number 20. So, I don't know, maybe I'll pull that out this month when I have a chance to do something extra instead of like his sampler, just because it's Christmas. So that'll be a next year thing. Okay, now I'll show you some of my old school stuff. They're not very well done because I was a beginner stitcher and young, and I didn't know. There's some that I completely made mistakes on, but you know, still fun. They're in no order. So I'll just pull out what I got. And these were all just bought in like craft stores. They're the stamped kits that were like Janlin, I think, or Dimension. I don't know if they were Dimensions, but yeah. They're not like a lot of the stamped kits now are so different. Like they're, you know, the big things with like the color patterns and all that in that, which these are not like that at all. Some of them will have prints on it that you don't stitch, but I'll show you that. So this one, I don't know the names, I'm sorry, or the companies, and it's wrinkled. But yeah, so this one has a nice little poem. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it's like, on this day, keep a promise, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, it was a nice ocean scene. And you did this, so the X's obviously were stamped like in blue. It wasn't any colored ones, which I like it better when they're not. So you just see it come to life as you go along. And it has back stitching, satin stitches. I think it has, what else? Any other specialty? Oh yeah, oh. I didn't realize I had done this before, but I guess I did, like, I think that's cording or couching, like this black. So I did some like specialty stitches back in the day. That's pretty good. And then like the birds are fully satin stitched, I think. So I think this one was when I was like my teens, early teens. The flowers are satin stitch. There's a lot of back stitch. So yeah, this one's not too bad. And then the sand and stuff was printed. But I like this. I kind of remember doing this guy. The lighthouse. So this was after I've done quite a few. I like, and the waves look cool too. Yeah. I don't know. I remember when I first was stitching, I thought, oh, I want to make these all into a quilt, even though I never made a quilt or sewed, like, I don't have a sewing machine or anything, but I just thought it would be a cool idea, because I didn't know what I was going to do with them. I don't know, I didn't want to frame them for some reason. But yeah, now they're just sitting in a bag. Maybe someday. Okay, I have like my, do you want to see some of my first ones? Let me just pull out, I think well, I'll get to that later, but these are some smaller ones that I think were earlier. Not this one, I think was maybe a little bit later, but little Southwest scene. And most of, I mean, a lot of these are just, I picked out what they had in the store, so not necessarily all my taste, but just what they had because it was fun to do. Again, they have satin stitches, back stitch. What else in this one? I think that's it. This one looks pretty neat. And actually, I did this when we lived in the home where it was all decorated. My mom liked the Southwestern style, so we could have hung this up and it would have gone great. We even had little cactuses around. But did not. Okay, I'm just gonna put these over here. These are actually ironed, so yay. And here is, this one's not as neat, but a little ocean-y scene. Look good in the bathroom. And oh, this was my second one that I ever did, and it has like the masking tape around it and stuff. Yeah, so when I first started doing these, like, I didn't realize you're supposed to use 2 strands, or actually, I think some of them called for 3 strands. So I just did 1. So, and I never washed it, so you can see some of the blue X's behind it. But yeah, and it looks very thin because I only used 1 strand, but it also had backstitch and satin stitch for my second one. The satin stitch looks really neat. I think I might have done those in just 1 as well. I don't know. But yeah. And again, this was not my style at all, but it was what they had. So yeah, I like how the satin stitch and backstitch look. Oh, it's not focusing. But yeah, should have used more strands. Okay, we're coming to my very first one ever. I think it was my 12th birthday that my grandma got it for me, a kit. And that was great because it started it all. And she used to do some cross-stitching. But I used to love, when I was younger, color by number. And this was like that with thread, so it was perfect. And yeah, this was my very first one. I did the same thing where I just used 1 strand instead of 2 or 3. But it was so fun, and I like stitching houses, so that was perfect. The road to a friend's house is never long. And these actually are like the colonial style houses that I lived in. Like, that was the, you know, New England style, and we lived in one that was like this one actually while I was stitching it. And my friends looked like that, so I just remember working on this and thinking, oh, this is so fun. And it had backstitch, lots of backstitch. Oh, I did do some of them. It had blends, apparently, because, or I just went over it. I don't know. But this is actually like 2 different colors. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but I had blends and satin stitch and tons of backstitch for my very first cross stitch ever. So, I mean, they don't look too bad. The leaves are all satin stitch. Some is coming out, but yeah. And then the back. Yeah, but anyway, my very first one. Oh, this, I remember for some reason this was my 3rd one, and again, didn't know that I needed to use more than 1 strand, but there it is. Cute. I'm hearing the little one. Might have to go check on him and pause this, but we'll see. Maybe I can just get through this, but this is another one. Oh, did I realize? Yeah, now I used more than one strand. Cute. So those are, okay, the little ones that I had in this little baggie. So I'm just going to put that back in so that they stay flat. Okay. I was productive. Like, this is what I did. Like, I did have some friends, but I would just, like, do this. Like, I remember on summer vacations, like, my sister and her friends were, like, playing outside. I'm like, I'm gonna cross stitch. Okay, this one is a little bit bigger, little wrinkled, tons of satin stitch in this one. And what are they called? Lazy daisies. So this was printed on it, but this one's cute. So yeah, there's that little bee, and then the what do you call them? Lazy daisies are down here. Stitched the border of these are stitched. But the bubbles, they look pretty good. And they've lasted, what, 20 something years? That's not bad. Yeah, more than, no. Well, I think maybe I did this when I was 13 or 14. I can't do math. Like 20 years ago. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so long. But hey, it held up pretty good. Okay. Oh, and there's one that I did that I can't show you because it's at my mom's. It was like a food and wine one that was pretty big, so she liked that one. So I gave that to her. Oh, this one was one of my favorite. I think this was my favorite to work on. I love this one. And I think you can get this as, I've seen this, like, maybe it counted cross stitch. I don't know if that's stamped, but like this one was so fun. To everything there is a season. I remember working on like the fall was my favorite. Oh, can't really see where I'm pointing this. Winter. Oh, yeah, spring. That one was fun too. And summer. Okay, I think I gotta go check on the little boy, but oh my god, this one was so fun. Loved this one, my favorite. Yeah. I still like looking at it. I should do something with these. Okay. All right, I'm gonna pause this and go check on the little one and be back. Okay, back. Hours later. Okay, and a new sweater. Yeah, that was fun. I think the baby is getting maybe, I don't know, my cold or something. He's just not happy now today when he's awake. So he's sleeping, but I don't know how long that'll last. I may not be able to get through this one, but let's just continue. Okay, this one is a nice garden. This is stitched, like, I don't think there was any print in this, so this is all stitched. I like the walkway. And that little bench. Yeah, that's nice. Again, like lazy daisies, a lot of backstitch. Yeah. Those are in here. Okay. This is like my least favorite because there's so much printing on it, but it was like, I remember the only one they had like in the store. All the blue and like a lot of the like rocks are kind of stamped, which I don't like, but so there wasn't too much actual stitching in here. This fish. What else? Yeah, these fish. And like I did do like the coral, and like down here is stitched. But I like the ones where I do most of like stitching. Oh, these, oh my god, there's a ton of French knots in this. Wow. All those are French knots. And those on here. That was a lot. Holy crap. Yeah. Lots of French knots. Okay. Almost done. This one is fun too. Cute little kitty. And I think all of this one is stitched, yeah. All of this is stitched in it. Looks like it also has like cording or I don't know, something, which is like these. Damn, I was like better at that then than I am now. That's funny. Cording or couching, I can't remember the difference, but the one where it's twisted looking. Oh, the daisies look cool. They're like satin stitch. Yeah. Ooh, lots of French knots again. Wow. I was not afraid of those. Like all there, I don't know if you can see them, but like all of, there's like tons in there. All like here and here. And a lot of satin stitch. I think I was better at these back then than I am now. Damn. Who knew? And the eyes look cool. Yeah, that one's nice. Oh, what's it say? Life is full of little blessings. Oh, that's not even backstitched. That's also... that cording stuff. Wow. I'm impressed with my old self. Better than I can do now, I feel like. Huh. That's pretty. Pretty colors. Okay. This one, I know like some of the stitches are kind of loose and falling out, but this one I know there's a quilt of this now for babies, but so again, one of the only ones at the store, and I did it based on my own stuff when I was born because I just wanted to stitch. Yeah. This one took a long time, but yeah, I just did my own stuff, but it's cute. And I remember doing this like in the summer at our we had like a summer house up in Maine, and I remember doing this. We'd come in from doing whatever, and like, you know, it's a place where you're supposed to be outside a lot, but I'm like, I just want to stitch, so I sat inside and stitched. Oh well. I was productive though. I got a lot done. And I only had one project at a time. What do you know? So yeah, there's that. I think one time I showed my husband this, and then like I had my daughter's birth sampler. He's like, oh, now you need to stitch one for me. I'm like, maybe. Okay, that's all that I have. There's one, I don't know where it is, but I know there was, I think it's probably in my box with my other whips, but there's another one that I had started, but then never finished, and in 2020, I like was going through stuff, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll finish this. And as I was working on it, I was pregnant with my daughter, and I was like, well, I want to stitch something for her, and then I started with the blanket, and then a birth sampler, and then from there, it just took off. All right. Sorry, itchy nose. Anyway, that was all the stitching. Now, lots of life updates, I guess. So, obviously, had my baby, and if you saw one of my other videos, life updates, I like was telling how my daughter's birth was somewhat traumatic, and this time, thankfully, was so much better. It was an actual normal birth process, and after, just being with your baby and bonding right away, and that was so nice. Even the labor was easier, and pretty quick, and he was 8 days early, which we had a feeling he would be early, but yeah, it was so great. And then even the recovery after has been like much faster, so yeah, it's been much better overall experience this time, luckily, which makes me sad I didn't get that for my daughter, but can't change it. Yeah, so now I'm on leave from my Norwegian job until the end of May, which is amazing. Technically, though, I don't have a job to go back to because it was only a 1-year temporary position, but I can apply again if they open it up, so not that I want to go back to that job, which brings me to my other update of me starting my online business, which is pregnancy nutrition. I'm a registered dietitian, but it's like there's hardly any positions here in the whole country of Norway for dietitians. Plus, they don't like recognize my registration here for whatever reason. Like, it's a whole mess. Like, it just gives me a headache to think about everything we've gone through to try and get this approved, and they're basically saying I need to take the entire 5-year master's program all over again, despite 5 years of undergraduate, master grad in exercise physiology, and a year internship at like one of the top teaching hospitals, plus like 10 years of work experience. And they're like, no, it's not good enough. So I don't know. I'm like, fine, I'm just starting my own thing. So anyway, a little rant, but January 1st is when I'm like gonna get my Instagram for that up and running, and then making some meal plans for each trimester now, and a lot of handouts, like a lot of free ones and extra ones that come along with the meal plans, so I'm so excited about that. And if you are pregnant or planning to become pregnant or just had a baby or know somebody, then I'll let you know when it's up and running, so feel free to follow along. Again, lots of like free information and tips, recipes. So what else? Yeah, so my mom had come to stay. Hi, Mom. She watches these. Thank you for all your help. She was here for a month, and I was like, oh, a month's a long time, but no, it went so fast. So fast. And she actually, because we only in our apartment have 2 bedrooms, and my daughter has 1, and we have a guest bed and her bed. So my mom was gonna, plan was to sleep in there, in the guest room, but my daughter's like, no. So she slept in my bed with me, and then my husband slept in there with her, and so she was up with me during the night. So she was, yeah, pushing through. Yeah, so he hasn't slept through the night yet, but yeah, hopefully soon. He'll be 8 weeks this weekend, actually. But yeah, there's also been like a ton of change coming and big decision making. I won't get into all of it, but let's just say there's going to be a move coming soon. We don't know exactly where or when yet, but it is coming, finally. We've been in this apartment like over 4 years now. And just, yeah, we're ready. So hopefully we can decide soon and get that going. Yeah, I think that's all. He stayed a little quiet the rest of this time, but yeah, so I'm not sure when I'll be back. I have family coming over the holidays and it's Christmas, and then I'm starting up my business, so I got a lot to do. I have goals, I have set deadlines for myself, so yeah. But if I do have a little time, maybe I'll do a end of year whip parade, even though there's not that much progress from my mid-year whip parade. But that'll actually help me also kind of go through my projects again and get more inspired to like do more stitching when I can. But yeah, that's later. So hopefully it won't be as long until I see you next time.